All right, Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Kradash. Shalom, salutations, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth from Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatham, the water for your sacrifices and your lessons. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders, the prophets, the teachers and evangelists also of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth. Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatham. Shalom to the elders. Shalom to the speckled bird, the confused face, the Akim and Akwa, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. Back again with another quick video. Talk a little bit about democracy from man, I forgot his name, but I'm gonna play it and you check it out, and then after that, I'll give you a couple of scriptures.
Plutocracy. It's ruled by the rich, of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. Democracy in America is just a smokescreen. It's a charade that they perform every election cycle just to pacify you. I mean, look at the reality. For roughly the first 100 years of American so-called democracy, only white male property owners could vote. This gradually expanded to include all white males and then theoretically black males, but not in practice, in theory. Eventually, they had to grant the vote to women and Native Americans. Imagine that. The indigenous people of that land were the last to be given the right to vote in that land. As the franchise of voting expanded to include those who were not white male property owners, the real power moved further and further away from the democratic process. They dangled the right to vote in front of you to make you think that you're a participant in power. But they kept the real power in the hands of the wealthy elite, more and more so over the years. As the right to vote expanded, the relevance of the vote contracted. I said no one ever intended for power to be in the hands of the people, and it never has been.
So here's the second video I wanted to get real quick, and then I'm going to give you some scriptures.
Every choice, every compromise, every alignment, every capitulation, there is going to be a day. There is going to be a day, and every single person who hears me, in whatever level of their consciousness is still connected to their fitra, they know that this is true. There is going to be a day when all of this is accounted for. Every choice, every compromise, every alignment, every capitulation. You understand me? Every moment that you knew the truth and looked away from the truth or denied it. Every time you had an Islamic framework available to you and you still chose the Western framework because it was more comfortable, because it was more socially acceptable, because it was less likely to cost you something in this dunya if you just adopted their ways. That day is coming, and I'm telling you about it from this side of that day, not as a threat, but as a reminder and as a testimony. Because how will it look on that day that you had the Quran, right? That you had 1,400 years of the most sophisticated, divinely grounded tradition in human history. You had the analytical tools. You had the moral framework that was available to you. The epistemological foundations were available to you. That everything you needed to understand this world clearly and navigate this world successfully, correctly, all of that was available to you, and you set it aside because a civilization of 350 years convinced you that its way of thinking was actually superior, that their values and their standards were superior. I mean, how will it look that you have been given the truth? You were given the truth, alhamdulillah, the truth of Islam, but you were more concerned with how that truth would appear to people who hate the truth, coming from a so-called civilization that's dedicated to fighting the truth.
I'm going to leave it right there. And again, we're not promoting Islam. We're not promoting the Quran. We're not promoting the Quran. We're not promoting Islam. We're not promoting none of that. We're here to give you the truth. We're here to give you the scriptures. Okay. Even though I use some of his content. Again, we're not here to promote Islam or the Quran. That's it falls under the Christianity umbrella, and that's just what it is. Another brother had walked up on me about that some time ago, but let me give you some scriptures. First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. And that's nothing different than what it is here today. in democracy here in Babylon. It's one people. Let's all be one people. Let's all follow one creed, which is the creed of Esau of Edom, right? Um, Even with the Islam, they, you know, even though they don't like the westernized culture, um, they still form under that same religious system, which is the Christianity system. Okay, we know that Islam was formed under following who's the forefather of the birth of Islam is Muhammad, who is well quoted that he followed and ran under the Israelites and learned our ways and our culture and decided to build a religion off of that because he knew he wasn't our people. When you go back to it, you recognize that our forefather Abraham, he had about eight sons, I believe, something like that, and Ishmael was his oldest, which Ishmael is also the, um, the progenitor of the Ishmaelites, who are the people who practice the birth of Islam. Okay, so for all you jakes that practice being Muslims, you know what I mean. Even the Moors, that's not your culture. That's not your people. You worshiping false gods. First Maccabees 8, and I'll read. I'm gonna start at 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house. Now, as I'm reading this, think carefully on how Babylon is structured. This is how they had structured themselves, like the Greeks, and then later on the Romans. It's that grapefruit juice right there, baby. Again, moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in a council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered. And they that committed their government to one man every year. Isn't that what we have? We have a senate, right? We have a president. We have different men who at these summits get together across the world, mainly in Europe, and they have discussions on, Psalms 83, pretty much how they're going to continue to keep us down and how they're going to continue to grow and do the things that they're going to do, right? And that they committed their government to one man every year to rule over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. Now, even though that's said, that that's not how this place is ran, man. It's not at all. This place is ran on through wickedness, kind of how Rome was, betrayal, deception, you know, um, greed. You know what I'm saying? Lies. Deuteronomy 17:15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren. So we're not supposed to be voting, okay? That's what it goes into. We're not supposed to be voting. That's not something that is set up for our people to do. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai chooses a king or someone over us, okay? Captain, leader, however you want to call it. But we're not to be following other heathens and voting them into being in control over us or over us, okay? One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. And these men that they assimilated us into their system of democracy, this is what we have been doing. You know what I mean? and we're proud of it. And we want to. I've talked to different people before, and a lot of our people seem to think it's crazy to me that us not voting is the problem with our community today. Crazy, but this is what we have with our people today, man. Um, this is why a lot of our people got to go, man. It's just too much, man. Too much. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, right? Neither keepereth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. This is what we have here in Babylon, and they're trying to do it with the whole world, you know? Um, excuse me, Salakia. Amos 8:4. They have set up kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Of their silver and their gold have they made them idols, that they may be cut off. So this is what Esau has been doing to control and keep his rulership. He has created a system where it's a hypocrisy and slash democracy. Okay, and he has used this to continue to have control over our people and along as well as the other nations of the world. Because why? Job 9:24 says that Yahweh Shai has given the world to the hand, roughly paraphrasing, in the hand of the wicked. And he has destroyed the world. He had destroyed the air. He had destroyed the land and the water. And that's what Yahweh Shai made him to do. And now all praises due to Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai. He's going to get ready to take this devil up out of here, man, because he's had enough. This is Matthew 23. Hey, where you at? Okay. Matthew 23 and 27, and it reads, Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. It's Yahweh Shai speaking. Listen up, listen good. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unwanted wicked speculars. Oh man, I gotta get that word together. Which indeed appear beautiful outward, sculptures, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. And that's exactly what it is with you scoffers and you hypocrites and you wicked ass demons that come across as if you care and you mean and you love, and all you do is create wickedness and confusion. Verse 28, even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Iniquity is sin on top of sin. Okay? Right here it says, Matthew 15 and 8, no, 7. Ye hypocrites, well did Esaias prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. That is definitely you devils. You Hebrew devils too. Yahweh Shai is going to get ready to see y'all. Let me get ready to get out of here. I just wanted to kind of touch on that real quick. Let me see something here. Gotta feed the sheep. Gotta feed the sheep. Romans 2:21. And it reads, Thou, therefore, which teachest another teacher, teachest thou not thyself. That thou that preachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit scarlet? Thou that makest thy boast of the law, thou breakest the law, dishonorest thou power. For the name of the Most High is blasphemed among the Gentiles, through you, as it is written. So only Paul is speaking to the Romans who are what? Israelites who are what? Considered Gentiles who were Hellenized when? In the days of the Greeks, when who? I just read about Antiochus said that we should all be one people. Okay? History, man. Know your history. Let's get scarlet. I want to know what that means. Romans 2:22.
Strong's G 2416. Hierasuleo. Hierasuleo.
Hierasuleo. And what is scarlet? To commit scarlet, to rob a temple. Okay. That's what scarlet is, to rob a temple. Isaiah. And I'm going to get ready to get out of here, man. I got to go do some things. And I'll be back a little bit later. Isaiah 29 and... 13, and it reads, Wherefore the Lord said, For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. It's a precept, what they call a precept trap, okay? Mark 7:7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. What, like the Quran in Islam? That is the doctrine of men. That is not the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay? You know, these are the types of things that you got to be circumspect about, you know. One more scripture, Isaiah 28:13. But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. And that's what happened to our people. This is why we're in a predicament in the situations that we are in. One of the reasons, because we was wicked as hell too, and, you know, blasphemy, and, you know, false worship and false idols, and a whole bunch of other iniquities that we committed, that Yahweh Shem Yahushua said enough is enough. Kind of similar to right now with what's going on with Esau. He said enough is enough. So just hang in there, man, endure, man, and keep praying, you know, fast, and ask Yahweh Shem Yahushua to have mercy on your spirit, you know. So with that, I pray that you were edified with the quick lesson. And I'm going to say, Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Kradash, Shalom, salutations again in double honors to the elder apostle GMS on down, and Shalom to the elect Abba Babal. Shalom.